Hello and welcome to episode 600 of Fergo and the Freak. I'm that bloke from Rugby League Project, Andrew Ferguson. You can find me on Twitter at AndrewRLP. Join me as always is the glorious LeagueFreak. You can also find on Twitter at LeagueFreak. How you going there, mate?
Going very well, Andrew. How are you?
Not too bad. A little bit thinking back going, remember when we were just spring chickens at this caper?
Yeah.
Back in episode 1, when Twitter was actually called Twitter.
Yeah, back in the good old days.
Yeah. And since then, it's changed its name to X, and I just went, no, I refuse to progress.
There have been some good positives that have come out, though, since it turned to X. Like, you can say to somebody, learn to code, and you won't get kicked off of it. You can say things like, are we sure about this COVID thing, and not get banned for life? Stuff like that. There are positives.
Slurs.
Oh, the beautiful slurs.
Wonderful time to be alive.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
What's been going on? Let's be honest. It's been a bit of another bit of a gap between episodes.
Yep.
And unlike as it has been in the last few episodes where you decide to take ownership of that, this is completely on me because I was trying to force myself to be a little bit more sick than I really was.
To be fair,
quite hard.
To be fair, I was going to bed early as well. As a combination.
Well, I mean, that's true. I don't know if people are aware of this, but I am a horrible night owl. Yeah.
I used to be. Oh well, I mostly am, but sometimes I go off the rails.
Yeah. Well, look, when you get to my age, you don't need as much sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Speaking of age.
Yeah.
So someone had a birthday that you maybe forgot about. Yeah. Yeah, fucker. Yeah.
Yeah, you keep these shit quiet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I used to as well. Some bastard started fucking recording when I had my birthday.
Oh, shit.
So you must be nearly 30 now.
Fucking nearly.
Yeah. The gap between us seems to widen by about 5 years every month.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're getting younger and I'm just getting older.
You know, it's really cool. I get those $7 sponge cakes from Woolies.
Yeah.
Because I like them as my birthday cake. And I cut that with my Predator knife, which is about 1.5 feet long and weighs, I think it weighs 1.5 kilograms. And it's so ridiculous. And every single birthday, I love it so much because it's so ridiculous.
How do you wash that thing?
I just, basically because it ends up with the cream on both sides and the jam, and I just spray a bunch of fucking dish cleaner on both sides, and then just wipe it under the tap and put it away for basically another year.
I would have thought with a knife that big and a cake that small, in comparison, when you actually slice the cake, you just have half the cake attached to each side of the knife.
Oh, the cake only 2/3 of the blade is clean. The rest is got the cake on it. It's so ridiculous. I should take a picture, really. I should buy another one and take a picture of how silly it is. It's so much overkill. Yeah, but this friggin' thing, which I don't have, by the way, if any of the authorities are listening, is you could literally...
You're not in Victoria, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So you could swing this thing and take someone's leg off without a question. It's like a sword. It's massive and heavy as fuck. It's this big lump of fucking metal. It's great.
That's just another.
It's another one of my silly purchases.
I was gonna say that's your letter opener.
Yeah, well, I love it. I used to want to try and open boxes with it, but remember when we had a rugby league podcast, by the way? Now I use my K-bar combat knife to open boxes and stuff, which is overkill and silly, but yeah, I love silly shit. I
mean, you got to do something with it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You got to justify the purchase.
I also have, because there was a while I was starting to get into knives, I stopped, I pulled out first time in my life. I've got a Bowie knife that I use to eat steak with, which is ridiculous too.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, exactly. You can do it in style.
Yeah, if you're going to cut shit up, may as well, go the whole hog.
Yeah,
Rip right in.
exactly.
Yeah. You're not here, as they say in the classics, you're not here to fuck spiders.
Exactly.
I'm here to cut shit in half.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, that's a great start. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Because I think that pretty much covers everything that's important this week.
Yeah, I think now we can just get into rugby league, hey?
Yeah. Happy birthday, LeagueFreak.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I think I forgot for another year.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You know what I'm like.
I think I only remembered in the first year.
Yeah, there's been a couple of years you remembered, but
I'm pretty sure I've only done it once.
You know what I'm like. I don't hold grudges or anything like that.
It's okay. I'll find plenty of people to send you emails. I'll share around all your personal details everywhere, so
Fuck
people
you,
can send you gifts.
Fuck you.
Lee worried about that one. Maybe
we should do an
already.
We should do an email. We should. We
should.
So it's our approximately 600th episode, although Andrew threw a fucking spanner in the works during the last couple of weeks, so we don't really know, but we're saying it's 600.
Let's be clear about this, okay? I was going through and I saw there was a bit of a gap on our podcasting hosting thing. It said on there that there's only 596 or 597 episodes have been recorded, and we're sitting there going, hang on, we just did 599. So I started going through and I found out that we kind of, for some unknown reason, and when I say we, I skipped episodes 511, 512, and 513. So part of the debate we had prior to this episode was, how do we go around that? And we thought we could just go with 599 part 2 and part 3, or we could just say 511, 512, 513, and just confuse the living shit of everyone.
But at the same time, we've done, 11 live episodes as well?
10, yeah.
Yeah, so...
we've already done 600 at that rate.
Yeah. So let's just call this 600.
So we thought, we'll go with 600 on this one. And for the next two, we could probably go 600 again.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
Just confuse. Look, the only thing we can do from here is confuse everyone until we've righted the fucking ship.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
So, on that note, emails. We've got one here from Glenn. And the subject is the 600th podcast. And the message body is this. Listen here, cunts. Congratulations on 600 podcasts. I was trying to come up with ideas for this pod, and do we continue with the 600 theme? Some of the ideas I had was 600 reasons why drugs and supplement scandals are bad for the Sharks. He says, I finally got in a Sharks comment before you guys. That's fucking hilarious. Do a show on the 600th game played, but I thought that was no good as it happened in the New South Wales Rugby League era. So that apparently didn't happen. Maybe do a show that doesn't include Super League talk. Or he says, I know, why not do a show where all the talk is about F1 and some of these stupid suggestions of what games should be played in grand final week. Seriously, a game played between third and fourth or a Super Bowl. My God, why don't we just go away from the grand final and hand every player a ribbon for the year and play for no points? Cheers, Glenn.
Good work, Glenn. Well, I can tell you that the 600th game would have been in round 2 of 1919.
Is that all?
Yeah. So the 11th season.
Wow, that seems really early.
Who played here? We had Annandale and South had an 8-all draw. That's, even though there wasn't a winner there, that is quite an upset.
Yeah. Rugby League was the winner.
Yeah. Balmain beat West. Of course they did. 15-2. And Glebe beat East 13-10. And Newtown beat North 5-2.
How about that?
There you go. Can't tell you much more than that. I dare say for all of those teams, they would have been fielding a bunch of rookies or a bunch of really old blokes because the Spanish flu had smashed Australia at that time. So yeah, it would have been great for how many people turned out that weekend? 14, 15, about 16,000 people for those 4 games.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah. 1,500 at North Sydney.
How about that?
There you go. And that was on the 17th of May. There you go.
That's pretty cool.
And yes, it was under the New South Wales Rugby League, so that was in the pre-NRL era, freaky.
Yeah.
I'll close that.
Fuck, that's so lazy. Okay, now let's go to our 50 most influential people in rugby league. You have not seen the list. I have.
No.
And then we have a long email from Nadine about it.
Okay.
Should I go? Can I read this? I don't think I can. Hang on, I'm trying to get it to load up.
The article.
Oh yeah, it's loading up for me. Do you want me to read you the list so that I can surprise you?
Yeah, go for it, because I haven't looked at it.
Okay, so here are the 50 according to the Daily Telegraph.
Okay, who wrote this?
Michael Carianis and Brent Reed. It's
Okay.
going to be good. It's going to be real good. Okay, these are the 50 most top influential people in the NRL.
Influence is key.
Yes. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Denon Kemp, number
Why?
50. He just keeps going from strength to strength thanks to his Bloke in the Bar brand, which has cultivated a huge following in his podcasts. And
it's a
Kemp
podcast.
Hey?
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
How's that influential?
I don't know.
Hang on, by criticising the podcast by not being influential, I am basically indirectly saying that we're not influential.
Yeah.
Are we influential? I guess I'll find out. Are we on the list? Let's keep that one in the hat.
Yeah. So that's number 50, Denon Kemp.
Wow.
Number 49, Mal Meninga. He is a former rugby league. Well, he's rugby league legend. Going to be coaching the Perth Bears next year. The most successful state of origin coach of all time. You know,
I'm okay with Mal being there.
Yeah. Seems reasonable.
At least he's correctly positioned as being higher on the list than Denon Kemp.
Number 48. Ready? Number
Yeah.
48. More influential than Mal Meninga.
Mm-hmm.
Yvonne O'Keefe. Isn't her name Sampson now?
No, it was Sampson before. I think it's O'Keefe now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Yvonne O'Keefe.
I don't mind voting.
But in top 50 most influential people in rugby league, are we serious? But more influential than Mal Meninga? Come on now.
I mean, at this stage, I couldn't think of 50 influential people in rugby league anyway, so it feels like anything outside the top, 20 are probably just going to be padding for stats.
Okay. 47, Kevin Walters. 46, Darren Lockyer.
He's basically a Super League guy now. He's not even there yet. He's a championship guy in England.
Channel 9 broadcaster too. More influential than Darren Lockyer? Just Surgis.
I don't mean this in a disparaging way. Does she do media stuff, or is she purely just in there as a player?
I don't know. Got no idea. Number 44, Peter Beattie. He's an ARL commissioner still, apparently.
He did nothing. He did nothing the whole time he's been there, other than say shit wrong and play it off like it was. I'm just making dad jokes. Going, no, you're just a dumb cunt.
Yep, I agree. Number 43, Chris. They like Grass Hills in Penrith Mims.
I don't like politicians on these lists.
Neither do I.
I fear there's going to be more of them.
Number 42, Tamika Upton. Number 41, Michael Shamus. He's the...
God.
Yeah, it's good. More influential than him, though. Number 40, Gordon Tallis.
Oh, fuck me. We're only 40.
Just below him at number 39.
Could I just say...
Yeah.
I wish he'd hear me rubbing my temples right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to get worse.
I know.
Number 39, maybe the greatest coach of all time, Craig Bellamy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Why is it 39?
Because at number 38, it's Phil Gould. And at number 37, The chair of Venues New South Wales, David Gallop.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, don't be like that. Number 36 is the CEO of the Brisbane Broncos, Dave Donaghy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But number 35, unquestionable, Matt King. You know
Why?
Matt King? Well, he's the New South Wales coach for next year and Sydney Roosters assistant coach. I mean, it's obvious.
Right.
Number 34 is a bloke called Carl Morris. He's the chair of the Brisbane Broncos.
Okay, so we're going to put every assistant coach and every chairman from the Broncos in there, are we? Is Chris Hyington getting on this list? He's an assistant coach of the Tigers.
It's a good question. Number 33. So we're
Chris
starting to get towards the pointy end. Right? Ivan Cleary.
Wow.
Once again, one of the, possibly getting up there. One of the great coaches.
Deserves to be on the list, but why is he this low? Like Bellamy and him should not be this low.
Number 32, ARL Commissioner, Kate Jones. Number 31, Cameron George, the CEO of the New Zealand Warriors.
Fine.
Number 30, Blake Solly, the CEO of the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Sure. There better not be anyone from the Holman Barnes group on this fucking list.
The Queensland Premier is number 20. What's his name? David.
Don't know.
Christofouli. I guess that's his name.
That's another person who doesn't deserve to be on the list.
He's a huge supporter of rugby league, thanks to his backing of Magic Round in the World Cup.
Oh my god! Yeah, I'm now fearing who else is going to be on this fucking list now.
Number 28, your mate Isaac Moses. Number 27, you might have heard of this guy, Wayne Bennett, very good coach.
Oh well, yeah. We've found 4 or 5 people so far that deserve to be on here.
Number 26, the CEO of the Penrith Panthers, Matt Cameron.
I'm fine with CEOs being on there.
Yeah. Especially when a club like that's gone as well as Penrith. Like,
yes.
You know. Not as powerful as number 25, Jerome Luai, though.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, don't be like that. Don't be like that. And he is not as powerful as number 24, Ashley Klein. All the way down in number 23 is the RLPA boss, Clint Newton.
No, that's fair enough.
You think he'd be a bit higher, don't you?
I would, yes.
Yeah. But there are more important people ahead of him, such as number 22, Billy Slater. Number 21 is Katie Page. She's a Harvey Norman chief executive.
Oh, my God.
She is not as influential, though, as this next man. Callan Ponga. Mr. Influence, they call him.
Oh, my God. This is horrible.
No. This is really good. This is really good. Number 29. We're at number 19 at this point. So we're in the top 20. So we're into that level where you were like, okay, here we go.
They should all be locks. I mean, we've already had 5 who should be in the top 20 mentioned already. So
number 19 is Nick Pappas.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Number 18, Managing Director, Black Money Enterprises, Walk Wright. He is one of the biggest stables in rugby league, including Jerome Luai, Latrell Mitchell, Bradman Best, Cody Walker. So he's a player manager. So, and you know, when you've got stars like that, you start to have a little bit of influence. Number 17, the CEO of Channel 9, Matt Stanton.
Yeah, he's done so much great influence for the game of rugby league.
Number 16.
Actually, can I just say, much great influence that the new broadcasting deal has had to put in stipulations to say, stop talking the game down for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thanks for that influence. Whatever your name is.
Number 16, as Israel Folau calls him, the Walls of Jericho, Wayne Pearce, ARL Commissioner. Number 15.
This feels lazy.
No, this is good, Andrew. This guy, number 15, the hammer and sickle himself, Anthony Albanese.
Fucking hell.
But, I mean, he's only the Prime Minister, Andrew.
Oh,
Okay? He hasn't got a candle on number 14.
Donald
Matthew
Trump?
Johns.
Oh, Matthew Johns. Oh, how is he? Look, I want to know. Why is it that Carrie Annis and Brent Reid have not put him at number 1? Did they piss each other off? Because this bloke's always at the top of every journo's list of whatever.
I know. So we're down to number 13 now, and 13 isn't unlucky because it is the PNG Prime Minister James Marape, I believe is the way you pronounce it. He has had a little bit of a say recently in a lot of things. Salary cap rules, all sorts of shit. But we know who the big power broker is in rugby league, and that's number 12, Nick Politis.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have put him this high up, but I would have had him in the list.
I understand, because there are people like number 11 in this list who are way more influential. It's Latrell Mitchell.
I haven't seen him for a month and a half.
I know. It'd be cool if he played rugby league. Hey?
Oh, Trell, I fucking love when you play, man, but fuck me.
Now, we're getting into the pointy end of this list. We're in the top 10. It's very difficult to get it this far. We're starting with number 10. It's the Dragons chairman, the Win chief executive, and Channel 9 board member, Andrew Lancaster.
Should not be on this list given what he's done to that fucking club.
Oh, but he's influential. What are you talking about?
Yeah, when I hear the word influential, to me, there's a connotation that the influence is positive.
Okay.
I would not have anyone involved with the West Tigers or the Dragons on this list.
Okay. With that in mind, everybody else on this list ain't shit compared to this next guy who's in number 9. It's Payne Haas.
Why? Why is he higher than... I don't know.
What about being like 30 places higher than Wayne Bennett?
I don't know, especially... And again, I don't want to sound nasty towards Payne Haas because he is a phenomenal fucking forward.
Yeah,
but ever since the Broncos season was over, he and everybody else in that Broncos side have just been phoning it in.
Yeah, well, that's an influence. Now, look, we're into the top 8 now.
They can wear West Tigers jumpers and no one would fucking know any difference.
Andrew, we're in the top 8. Okay, let's get serious now. You and me, let's get serious. Let's go on the rest of this journey together. Number 8 is Braithen Astor.
I was about to say, it better not be a fucking journalist. And it wasn't, thankfully.
You just imagine everyone in rugby league goes, what does Braithen Astor think about this? Number 7 is the managing director of Fox Sports, Steve Crawley.
Oh, my God.
Number 6 is the Foxtel Group CEO, Patrick Delaney. I don't mind that.
Put them all in there.
Put a fucking lot of money into the game.
Is Rupert Murdoch on the list? Put him at number 2.
Number 5 is the DAZN owner, Len Blavatnik.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name. I think I maybe nailed it.
We're old mates from way back.
Yeah, Len.
Oh, Len.
Doing good. Pouring $5.3 billion into the game. Can't argue with that.
I'm fine with him being there.
Yeah. Number 4, above him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be serious. $5.3 billion. Like, whatever, mate.
That's pissing in a puddle right now.
Number 4 is the boss of these two journalists, Michael Miller, News Corp Executive Chairman. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah. Now we're into the top 3. Okay. To get into the top 3, you got to do some special shit.
I'm starting to realise now that when I said there was about 20 people, I'm starting to realise that I was being far too positive about this as well.
Well, you would have definitely had this guy on your list because number 3 is Reece Walsh.
Not at 3. Fuck off. Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
Was it the piss taken around drinking toilet water? Was that the bit that did it?
Possibly. You know what those rugby league people are like? It's refreshing. Number 2 is the man that everyone wants to do everything else except play rugby league. It's Nathan Cleary.
Oh, Nathan Cleary. I mean, that's helpful.
And number 1, the one and only Peter V'landys.
Oh, so the bloke actually has the most influence on the games at number 1. Imagine my fucking surprise.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking, that one.
Um,
What did you think of that list? Did you find that list quite good?
I thought that was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever had to through my fucking 606 episodes of this thing.
By the way, did I accidentally show my hand in what my perfect job would be, and that's calling bingo?
Very clear, very almost, I would say.
Yeah,
Very almost,
I've got a natural flair for calling bingo. I've never actually been able to do it, but I think that is my perfect job.
Is that something you can ease yourself into by doing the lotto numbers?
I guess possibly, yeah.
Remember when they used to televise the lotto draw on TV?
Yeah.
I miss those days. That was one of my favourite programs.
Yeah, that was the shit. I'd love to call bingo numbers as a career. I don't think there's much of a career path in it, but that would be perfect for me.
That'd go well.
Yeah, I think I'd be good at it. Anyway, so we got an email here from someone called Nadine. We all know Nadine. She's been on the podcast before. And she was writing about this influential list. And I
was going to say, I call her the mayor of the Nepean.
The mayor of the Nepean, yes. Yeah. Yes, I would agree with that. She writes in, she says, "Gents, I've had a few days to sit with this list, and I regret to inform you that I am not okay, and it's gotten worse since I actually looked up who's on it. Let's start local. A referee on an influential people's list in 2026, if influence now includes the ability to single-handedly decide a match with the 6 again nobody asked for, fine. But call the category what it is. Most powerful, not most influential. And Klein of all people should not be on the face of it. Matt Cameron, meanwhile, is out there quietly rewriting how every club manages its cap, and he's buried somewhere in the 30s like he does the T run. Then there's the NRL treatment. Yvonne Sampson in there for reasons everyone's too polite to specify. Denon Kemp, I'm glad she said that, not me. Jesus Christ, Andrew. Denon Kemp shows up like a plot twist nobody asked for. That's fucking great. Oh, shit. And then, chef's kiss, they wheel out Latrell Mitchell, a man who's played about 4 games since Federation, as the marquee name to make the whole section look legit. I don't know why I'm making Nadine sound like she fucking does the fucking intro for Sports Sunday, by the way.
She's starting to sound more like Matt Nable than
yeah.
And how about this bloke?
She sounds much better than what I'm making her sound. I'm sorry. But here's the bit that should really have you ropeable. Maybe that would have been my dream job. Too bad that show ended 30 years ago.
You could have been Matt Nable.
Yeah. It turns out Anthony Albanese is apparently more influential to rugby league than most players who play rugby league.
And coaches.
Yeah, exactly. The literal prime minister ahead of blokes who put their body on the line every week so the sport exists. And Lachlan Murdoch is on there too. I didn't see him. Chairman of News Corp. I didn't see Lachlan Murdoch.
Oh, fuck. You know,
Did I miss Lachlan Murdoch?
I want to say this, and sorry to interrupt, Nadine, but there's only a very, very tiny number of politicians who I'd ever accept on any NRL's most influential list. And that list would have been last produced with politicians on it in about 1912. And it would have been the blokes who founded the game and Edward Larkin.
So no Christina Keneally?
None of them.
Dan Andrews?
This is not about being right wing, left wing, labelist. It's none of that. Like,
we don't do that.
No, there was a few politicians that were involved in actually starting the game of rugby league and helping clubs get started, right? And those people deserve recognition because it was a pretty ballsy thing to do back then, is to throw your lot in with a professional game of rugby league when professionalism in sport was seen as, absolute blasphemy.
Yeah.
And they supported it, and their support helped get people on board and come across and support it as well. And that's what it helps the game kick on. After that, though, once the game's established, I wouldn't have politicians on these lists. Unless they do an immense amount of good for the game, and that's like their primary focus, is helping the game out in a big way, like the Founding Fathers did. I'm very reluctant to have politicians on there. They're polarizing at best, and I don't want to have polarizing figures. I was almost worried that they were going to put people on there like Ben Roberts-Smith, because he went to a Broncos game. And they just find some stupid way to add that in there. I mean, when you got someone in there, right, this is not about whether I think he did anything right or wrong. What we can all agree on is that he's now a contentious figure. Don't put that on don't align your business with that, right? It's okay if your CEO wants to go and say, you know what, I support this guy, or I don't think he should be out of jail, he should be in prison, or whatever. You make all whatever statement you want, okay? You do that on your own thing. But I think it was stupid and nearsighted of the Broncos to go and bring him into the club and all sorts of stuff and attach your business with a contentious figure like that in the current climate. I'd have just said, you know what, let's just keep our distance until we get the full, we know whether he's innocent or not, and then we can bring him in if we need to. Like, you got to play it safe, especially with the Broncos. It's a publicly listed company that does trades and stuff like that. So you just start pissing off parts of the population because, they may not like him. Your share price can go down, and that starts to hurt things. Like, use your fucking brains. Sorry, I went on a rant there.
No, it's all right.
The other one I thought there might have been, there would have been Chairman Lee.
Yeah, it's surprising he wasn't in there, hey?
Fucking hell.
Okay, so back to the email.
Yeah, end rant for now.
Nadine's saying how it's not journalism, it's a group hug. Says, Nick Politis riding high while his club salary cap history reads like a choose-your-own-adventure is somehow the least surprising part of this. Don't get me started on Mal Meninga and Rick Stewart. I might have missed 10 in there or something, hey?
See, I'm not opposed to coaches being in there. Because they, good ones and bad ones, right? They're going to have a way of doing what they do that determines how the game is played. And essentially, a lot of the rules that we have are a reaction to what coaches have figured out or what they do and stuff like that. If it's not the coaches doing it, it's the players doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to coaches being on there. I would prefer that the long-term successful ones are on there more than anything else, because they've earned that right.
Yeah.
Same with players. I wouldn't be having that many players on there. You'd have your established stars and, test captain, that sort of thing, but I wouldn't have too many in there.
Australia's test captain wasn't even on there, huh?
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
And they've gone for people who have got, I assume, a big social media following.
Yeah, there was some of those.
Which I don't fucking like that either. Because that's not influence, that's just popular. And that's different.
Yeah, but you got to remember that the way that a lot of these journalists now, their business is about clicks and views and so that's what they value.
Of course, then a lot of the way they do their, research is, let's click on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and see what's on there and make a story out of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see journalists on there. Journalists who become authors and have become like students of the game and its history, or become analysts, that's a different matter. When was the last time we had a journalist do that?
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
So, the last one I could probably think of who was very well renowned would have been Ian Heads.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been actually nice, and I think very touching if they had to put someone like Terry Williams on there, given that he was an historian, a very prominent one, and he was very, very passionate about trying to make sure that people remembered the players from the past who were often forgotten and never mentioned, especially those who, served in war. And a lot of the research that he did and a lot of the historian work that he did for clubs and the game all around, he did it to help, tell those stories. He didn't do it because it was going to be making him a ton of money or anything like that. That's the true measure of an influential person, sharing of their knowledge and their experience for the benefit of everyone. I don't know how you get more influential than that. Yeah. And unfortunately, and this is not me trying to find a way to, screw myself in there, because I'm not influential in this game at all. But I think people like David Middleton, Ian Heads, Terry, these people should have been absolutely recognised, because they have been at the absolute highest level of their fields in history and journalism and research in this game's history. They deserve recognition in these lists, and it's to have the fucking Prime Minister in there over someone like David Middleton. Are you fucking serious?
Do you know that?
I don't get that.
Do you know that the Prime Minister grew up in Housing Commission? Have you ever heard that?
I have heard that.
Yeah.
You know what? There's nothing that Anthony Albanese's ever done that has helped me with my research work. I tell you what, though, someone who has. Yeah, that Middleton fella.
Yeah.
Ian Heads, great man. These men who write down the game's history so that we can all learn from it and experience it. And, we can learn to make our game better off the back of that being recorded. That's an influence that is never considered and really, really should be. So, yeah, that irritates me a fair bit, that we're just going to celebrate some bloke who's got 150,000 followers on Instagram. But, Middleton or, Alan Whitaker, Ian Collis, nah, fuck them. That just shits me. Look, I'll put it this way. I respect those guys so much more than I do these guys drinking toilet water.
See, that's where we differ, Andrew. You've just never tried it, man.
I'm too old for this shit. Scratching my go. When did this go past me? When did I miss this boat? When did they change the definition of influence?
It's funny, eh? So you've got to remember that a list like this is only as good as the people who put it together. And at the end of the day, who gives a fuck, really? Who gives a fuck?
True.
Anyway, so Nadine's email ends this way. She says, no, it's not just Klein on the trail. The whole list is the NRL's marketing. Is the NRL marking its own homework with Murdoch holding the pen? It's a rebuttal list. I want a rebuttal list. Sorry, ranked properly by Kickoff Friday. Jesus fuck. Cheers, CEO. Maybe you could put together your own list.
I think we could work that out.
Yeah.
That wouldn't take us too long.
Yeah.
50, as I said at the start, I think 50 is too high a number.
Number 50, Paws, from Paws and Claws, who are the Penrith Panthers mascots.
Why not?
Number 4. Yes, yeah.
Do you remember the screenshot I sent you during the week about what the French teams call their cheer girls?
Oh, yeah. What did they call them again? What did they call them?
Where is it?
Let me find it. Yeah, that had to have been a bad translation.
That's on their website.
Was it in the main one, or is it this one?
It was for the Albi Rugby League team. It's called Street Ladies.
Yeah, Street Ladies. That's
that's not translated. That's on their website as is.
Yeah, that was rough.
It's a rough translation because that's probably the terms they definitely mean to use. But when we read it in English, we go, "Oh, that means something not quite so right."
Yeah.
And they're not even scantily clad.
No, they're actually
wearing the footy jumper.
Yeah, they're probably, I would say, remember when the Bulldogs said they were getting rid of cheerleaders and they didn't actually get rid of them, but they just like made them wear gear that was not good for cheerleading in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically what they were wearing. Is what these cheer squad members are wearing in this French rugby league team.
Honest, it makes sense because in the domestic French competition, they play during their winter. They don't play in the summer like they do in England because they're scared about going up against other sports.
Yeah.
In France, the rugby league just goes, no, you know what? We'll take them all on head on. What are we got to be scared of?
They're like, man, the Nazis couldn't get rid of us. We're sweet. We'll do whatever the fuck we want.
That's right.
Vive
la France.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the actual games of rugby league because there's a little bit going on. There's some teams that are going up. There's some teams that are going down. A team that was leading the comp most of the season, the Penrith Panthers, have been really bad over the last 10 games. Are actually on the exact same amount of points over the last 10 games as the St. George Illawarra Dragons, which is shocking.
But still more than the West Tigers in the same period of time.
Yeah. The Brisbane Broncos, they have just collapsed. Their season's over.
And did you know that they are actually a mathematical chance of getting the spoon?
Yeah, they'd need to lose all three and the Dragons basically win all three.
Yeah.
It's possible, but...
The Broncos have got Canberra, Melbourne and Canterbury.
Yeah, see, I think that... I can't see them beating the Raiders on the weekend, but I think that that's the most likely that they're going to win of those three. Who have the Dragons got?
Canterbury, Manly and Parramatta. Mate, they're a lock for all three of those. So it's going to be great because we're going to see Brisbane go from premiers to wooden spooners in a year. And the minor premiers, Canberra, who have they got? They got Brisbane. Well, that's going to, I don't know, they're going to get a win there. But they've got to buy them. They've got the Cowboys at the end. So, they're going to go from minor premiers to 13th in the same year.
Yeah, it's weird how some teams have just done that, just fallen out of, just gone. Seagulls are another team that's currently nosediving, and to me, I'm not kind of shocked at that. I think they had a really good run there for a while, but I think this is more of the team that they've got. They, people are saying once they lost Luke Brooks that things fell apart, but I think it was kind of happening before that. And if your linchpin is Luke Brooks, you got a fucking big problem anyway. The Rabbitohs are kind of still hanging around. The Warriors look great. The Bulldogs,
no.
It's just, I think it's just been a terrible year for them. The Titans are looking better than we've seen them for the last couple of years, and they still suck. The Sharks over the last couple of weeks, they've been fucked up. It's been really weird to see the Sharks because they were on fire. The Roosters are...
I was actually wondering during the Dragons game.
Yes.
Whether Trindle had a bit of a niggling injury then. There wasn't anything to suggest that he was playing with any great limitation, but he was being less aggressive when he had the ball in hand. He wasn't taking the line on as much, and I thought maybe he's just protecting himself a little bit. And then he ended up getting injured against Canberra the week after.
I don't think I've ever seen a player do their shoulder. You see them when they're really down on the ground and they'll do their arm or their shoulder, but not like he did. It was kind of weird.
It was a really weird impact. But yeah, And they said it popped out and popped straight back in. So it means that he might only miss like 2 or 3 weeks. So he could be back in time for the finals. The other thing that I noticed too is against the Dragons, less so against Canberra, but still there was no meters coming out of dummy half for the Sharks in those 2 games, and that killed all their forward momentum.
Yeah.
If they want to start winning again, Brayley, you got to start running, boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so strange to see because like a couple of weeks ago, they were absolutely on fire. And that's the thing with the Roosters that I wonder about. We've seen a lot of runs by teams over the course of this year, and probably a good 10 teams have had really, really good runs. Right now, we're seeing Newcastle's on a really good run. We're seeing the Roosters on a really good run. I wonder if this season's just going to come down to who just goes on the run at the right time, which is kind of what the Brisbane Broncos did last year.
Yeah.
The other thing that's concerning me right now is with everyone's carrying like major injuries, like major injuries. And I don't think we will see a grand final where everyone's fit. I think that every single team is going to be missing like key players. And it's just going to be who handles having those key players out the best at the end of the day.
Should go through the injury list. What do you reckon?
Yeah, because it's shocking. Like
pretty big. All right. So the Broncos have got Brendan Petacura, Adam Reynolds, Preston Ricky, Reece Walsh, Corey Pakes all out.
Mm-hmm.
Bulldogs have got Samuel Hughes, Renakama, and Tupanua all out. Cowboys have got Dearden and Nanai. Dolphins have got Donahue, Lemuelu. Dragons have got Jaden Stewart, Clint Gutherson, Hame Saleh, Hayden Buchanan, and David Fallow out. Parramatta's missing Pezzett, Simonson, Dylan Walker, Matt Dory, Jermaine Hopgood, Asaya Yongi. The Knights have got Bradman Best, Dane Gagai, Manu Laulua, James Schiller, Jacob Saifidi, Brodie Jones, Dylan Brown, Dylan Lucas out. Panthers are missing Casey McLean, Mitch Kenny, Icy Yo, Paul Alamotti. South, Latrell Mitchell, Dane Jennings, Jamie Humphries, Adam Elliott, Talanoa Penatani, Ashton Ward. Canberra, Simi Sasangi, Noah Martin, Morgan Smithies, and Hudson Young. Roosters, Tedesco, although here he might be back this week.
Mm-hmm.
Crichton, Daniel Tupou, Blake Steep, Manly, Ben Trebojevic, Tom Trebojevic, Paseka, Ethan Bullimore, Torquiaho, Joey Walsh, Luke Brooks, Kobe Hetherington. The Sharks, Fanua Blake, Trindle, Jesse Ramian. Melbourne, Harry Grant, Jack Howarth, Jerome Hughes, Kamikamitha, Lasati, Xavier Coates, Will Warbrick, Eli Katoa. Titans, Josh Patson, Brock Gray, Dean Iriama, Zane Harrison, Jamin Jolliffe, and Jensen Tomapio. Warriors, Tamari Martin, Charles Clockstad, Tanner Boyd, Jackson Ford, Luke Metcalf. Tigers, Alex Toll, Taylor May, Adam Dewey, Royce Hunt, Latu Fainu, and Kai Pearce-Paul. The whole list is made up almost entirely of who would be basically in your top 17 when fully fit.
Yeah, and so many spine players as well.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty crazy. So, and look, we're still a few weeks out from the finals. I think what it does show is that if you can win that first game, if you're a top 4 team and you win that first game of the finals and you get a week off, that's going to be absolutely massive to the 2 teams that win that. But yeah, it's kind of crazy that no matter really who makes the grand final, it feels as though they're literally going to be missing like a halfback or a fullback or a hooker. And you don't see that very often. Like you'll see teams will go in and they'll be missing like a forward or something, but never really often a player from your spine. And I just don't think we're going to see anybody get through the grand final that's not going to be missing a big name player. And I think that it shows like this run that the Roosters are on right now has been so good because they've done it without Tedesco and Crichton and players like that. And the same thing with the Newcastle Knights. Like they lost Dylan Brown and they're just still humming along. It's been really good by them. Like they're on fire at the moment. So
yeah, they actually could just let him go to the PNG Chiefs.
Yeah, they could. Look, I tell you what, you know, I talked about earlier in the year how he was playing great. He was playing up to that salary figure that they had him, but I was still worried about the 10 years. Now he's in the first year of a 10-year deal and he's on ACL, and it's like that's the nightmare scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he needs to be good 9 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
And man, terrible. That actually brings me to the news during the week that Sam Walker is trying to get $1.7 million a year. I think it was for 5 years from the Roosters. And of course, the Roosters started doing the whole thing that the Roosters do, where they absolutely love you and you're a brother and you're brother in arms at that club, and then you don't do exactly what they want. And they're like, well, maybe fuck this guy. Maybe this guy's a greedy prick. And fact of the matter is, that's what a halfback's going to be worth under the new salary cap.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets what he's after from whoever. I think he'd be a good signing for the Broncos, actually. Just get that halfback spot
100%. They need
sorted out.
They need a young player. Fuck.
Yeah.
If he gets at least 1.7,
yeah,
I wonder how much Penrith will be watching that going, fuck.
Look, I've said Nathan Cleary is just a $3 million a year player, and people fucking went off their nut when I said that. And I'm sticking with it. I think he's worth it. Goal kicker. You know you got a winner. He's fucking going to be about 29 when that deal kicks in. 30. I just think that's what I'd offer him. Make him turn it down.
Yeah. It's a lot of coin. And that's the thing, is that at that stage, it's the complicated situation he gets stuck in. Because every football player, no matter how much they're getting paid, they like winning.
Yes.
And if they're on $500 per game, or if they're on $5 million a game, they still like winning.
Yeah.
You can't take that away. And I think the problem Cleary's going to have is if he starts demanding too much money and, is genuinely deserves to get it, how much of that is going to impact the quality of the rest of the side, and how much is that going to impact his ability to keep winning games, and how much does he want to win over earn? And that's a question only he can answer, but that's where he's going to get stuck.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Panthers junior development system helps that, because you're always going to have players come into the side who are on their first contracts, and so they kind of subsidise what you're doing with your top of the line players. So that helps. But this week they re-signed Casey McLean to a longer term deal, and that would have cost them some money. They've got Mitch Kenny, who they have signed to a longer term deal a few weeks ago. Alamotti is also re-signed with the Panthers. So they're starting to lock some players down. I don't think Isaiah will leave the Panthers. I just feel as though he's like, this will be probably his last contract. And it just seems like he would be the sort of player that if they're there or thereabouts, they'll all sign the deal and they'll all be happy with that. But, it's a big deal that's coming up for Cleary. And, I was actually talking to Nadine a few days ago and saying how you don't want to be the head of the Penrith Panthers that lets Nathan Cleary go without turning up at that press conference if he does leave and saying, I offered him the richest deal in rugby league history and he decided against that and he went somewhere else. That's the only way that fans will
accept it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if he's left because you've lowballed him, oh boy.
Yeah. It can't be a case of like, well, the Panthers offered him $2.2 million and he went for 2.7 to, the fucking PNG Chiefs. You have to keep him. If he's in the NRL, you have to keep him. And if he decides to retire, well, then that's up to him. But he's got to walk away from the biggest deal that's ever been put in place in front of a player. And I think that, especially when you've got a team like this Penrith team has been, and you've got a player like Cleary that is going to be good in 5 years from now, you offer him the biggest deal in the game's history. And if that means you end up being at bottom of the 8 team, but you've kept together this great side and you've at least given them a shot to be there or thereabouts. If a couple of really good young juniors come through, well, then you got to do that. You can't start again while he's 30.
What if
Mm-hmm.
Huddersfield Giants come along and say, we'll give you £2.5 million a year, Nathan? And Nathan says, you know what? That's too hard to say no to. I can say yes to that. And never play against the Panthers, so I'm not even going to fuck the Panthers over.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I can play for the Huddersfield Giants, who will actually be playing in Dewsbury in front of 3,500 people.
Careful.
Under the floodlights. What did you say?
So careful.
Well, technically, they're people. And should we talk about the Super League deal?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
Let's
Sorry, Glenn. We're going to have to talk about Super League. So this week, come news that the NRL has offered, I think it was $50 million. It was about $50 million to Super League for 50% of the competition, and as a pretty good offer, considering they currently don't have a broadcasting deal beyond this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a problem. And of course, the English Rugby League and their fans, they're wonderfully grateful of this offer of expertise from the biggest rugby competition in the world, in the NRL. All the money that backs that competition, the business links, they were really supportive of the deal, except they weren't. They said, fuck that. We're worth more than this.
Oh.
And yeah.
Did they say how much more they're worth?
No, just more. Just more. Yeah. I had somebody compare it to they said to me, if you were selling your car, would you take the first offer? And I was like, well, if the car was 50 years old and full of rust and didn't work and was costing me heaps of money and I hadn't had any other offers for it, I think I'd take the first offer.
Okay, so this is negotiating 101.
Yeah, they're very smart at negotiating deals, and you can tell that because they got free pizza.
Well, that's true, and you can't argue with that.
Nah, it's a very, very smart.
And they got pizza with tuna on it too, didn't they? Remember?
Yeah, shrewd. Tuna and
corn.
Corn, yeah, it's beautiful. Nice combination.
Then before that, they got free advertising on the side of trucks.
Yes, yeah, so there's some stickers on lorries.
Yeah, in the north where everyone was already watching the game. It was great.
Yeah, that was really good. So there was also the deal where they got some free Toyota cars in London for the to drive around in for the development officers. They got free Toyota cars.
That's always helpful.
Yeah, that was huge for the development of rugby league in London.
So if the NRL said, you know what we'll do then, okay, if you're going to refuse the first offer, we're going to walk away and we're going to come back with a second offer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to suggest about $25 million less on the second offer.
Yeah.
How would the English respond to that?
They'd be upset, and they would say the game is worth more than that over there.
Right. How many of them would just say, you know what? We can see the form line here is they're going to start offering us less and less and less. Maybe we should say yes before it gets any lower and we get nothing.
I think they would. I've said this whole time, they don't want to deal with us. They don't want to work with Australians. They don't want anything except free money from us. And we should listen to them. That's one of the things that I do better than anyone else, weirdly enough. I actually listen to what they say. And then when I repeat what they say, they get angry at me.
You're just problematic.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, if 606 episodes of this show haven't taught people that already, I mean, how much more do we need to drum this into your heads, people?
Yeah. The warning signs have been there. It's really weird. See, what is more likely to happen from my point of view, if I'm thinking about it, all of the deals get rejected, and then you get a couple of Super League clubs say to the other Super League clubs, fuck you, we're going to join a competition that the NRL is going to run. And then all of a sudden they're going to all scramble to join that competition, and the NRL will get what they want for a lot less.
I dare say what will happen is everyone in the English Rugby League will all say no to this.
Mm-hmm.
RFL, though, will be going, you know what? We can't afford to say no to this, so we're just going to accept it and fuck you all. And they'll say yes, and they'll get the money, and then they'll piss all the money up the wall, and then they'll have no control and no cash, and the NRL will be running it all on like the smell of an oily rag.
There's that possibility, yeah.
It feels like that's going to happen more than anything else. And so the money the NRL is going to give it is just going to keep it afloat for the next 10 years, and then what the fuck's going to happen after that?
Yeah.
Unless the NRL is allowed to have enough control, especially over, the commercial side of things.
Yeah.
Organising TV rights deals, sponsorship, competition structure, all that sort of stuff. If they can organise that bit and just say to the RFL, look, how's about you look after the bit where the stamps go on the letters? Right. And if you get that bit right after 2 or 3 years, we'll give you the job of sealing the envelopes as well.
The problem that the NRL really has is that you can have all the money in the world. It won't change attitudes over there.
It won't.
And the attitudes over there are so toxic. And like not just towards Australia, to anybody that's not themselves, to anybody that's not their own team, that's, they still don't understand the concept of your league is only as strong as your weakest team, And we have that problem in the NRL to a point. Like, our weak teams are pretty fucking weak, and it's a bad thing for our league that we've got teams like the Dragons and the Tigers and stuff who are just not good. They don't understand the concept of being in the right markets, of expansion, of why it's bad. Like, they'll talk about, well, rugby league won't work. Rugby league won't work anywhere except in my town. That's the way they see it. You're not going to get around those attitudes with $1 billion. And I just don't see how pouring money into this dying competition is going to help that, when you could spend your money on a smaller competition with fewer teams in bigger markets. Doesn't even have to run that long. And I think we talked about this last year. Call it a Rugby League Grand Prix or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And, run it in the off season of the NRL. And, all of a sudden you've got fucking 12 month a year rugby league on TV. That's what I'd be doing.
I've just had a great idea.
Yeah.
NRL doesn't give any money to the English Rugby League. So you know what? We're going to invest our money in Scotland Rugby League.
Mm-hmm.
And they just allow any NRL player that's on the fringe just go over to Scotland and play for rugby league teams over there. And we'll invite teams from Ireland in there as well. And give them like 3 years to make the Scotland and Irish Ireland Rugby League competition bigger than the RFL.
Look at
just for shits and giggles more than anything. It's either that or they start pumping up more money into darts.
Look, I think the best thing that shows where English Rugby League is at is that the Huddersfield Giants, who are going to keep their name Huddersfield Giants, are going to be playing at Dewsbury in the Dewsbury Rams Stadium. And so you've got a team that is actually moving. And instead of moving, they could have moved to Newcastle. They could have moved to Edinburgh. They could have moved anywhere in the UK. You have this team that's from a town that it doesn't work in, that's been around for forever, and it didn't work. And the owner's like, okay, it's not working here. Fair enough. Let's relocate. And instead of going to a city, they went to literally the smallest town, cramped amongst two small towns in Wakefield and Castleford, who are cramped in an area that the fucking Leeds Rhinos are the biggest club in. I think that says everything about the planning and foresight and vision that rugby league in England has for rugby league in England. Like, this team is in such a poor position. Why not take them somewhere where you can maybe build something long term? Instead, they're going to fucking Dewsbury. And nothing against Dewsbury. Dewsbury is a place. But what a fucking stupid idea that is.
They could have relocated to Penistone.
Why couldn't they become Manchester?
Well, that's not
Manchester Giants.
Not in Yorkshire anymore, is it?
Do that? What?
It's not in Yorkshire anymore, is it?
But it's like, who gives a fuck at this point? If you're willing to move your team from Huddersfield and just move them to Dewsbury, you don't give a fuck. So why not just not give a fuck on a bigger scale?
Yeah, look, it seems weird to me that they couldn't make a team work in the city where the game was born.
Yeah. It's weird.
Like
and the funny thing is
the absolute marketing gold that no other team can lay hands on.
Not many other sports can.
You're the home of the game's birth.
And
you can't convert that into a community that is passionate about the sport. And it's crazy because no team in Australia does that. The game was formed in one of the streets in the Sydney CBD.
Yeah.
None of the team sits there and says, you know what, we are the team that's where the game was born or stuff like that. No one's ever tried to do that here because it's kind of in an area that doesn't. It's not fully represented by one team, so it's a bit of a one or the other type thing. But in England, there's a fucking team there.
Mm-hmm.
The meeting was at the centre, the fucking town centre, near the train station.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, likewise. It's like it's in the heart of your city, and you can't do anything to create any sort of fucking loyalty or passion for the game there. Come on, and that's not even I can't even put that down to an English rugby league thing. That is people who have run the Huddersfield team for decades have never bothered to really put in the effort to try and build that passion and, loyalty to the game and to their local team. It's just not there. And that's why it's been largely accepted. Oh, yeah, we're just going to go to Dewsbury now. And it's like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's not like you've seen,
no one's up in arms about it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I haven't seen a whole bunch of people in Huddersfield saying this is terrible or anything. It's like you haven't really heard anything. And, it's not like you're hearing people in Dewsbury going, oh, this is great,
Yeah.
It's just happening and, it's a white flag by the owner. And I don't know if it's him thinking because I said like the ownership is just not putting their money into the club. And I got a lot of people saying, oh, he's a great owner. And it's like, well, this doesn't seem very great to me. And I don't know if he's sort of sticking around and hoping that he gets a handout from the NRL or what, but it's just one of the, you could write down 100 things that have happened in Super League over the last number of years that are absolutely insane. They make no sense. They make no business sense. They've got no vision behind them. They're always looking for the silver bullet, which we've talked about. That never works. And, that they know better. Just as I say, I listen to them. They know better. Just ask them. And when the NRL comes in and says, we see you're in a bad position, we have $50 million here, which we are willing to invest, we are willing to use our expertise to help your financial situation through the broadcasting and marketing and all that sort of thing, they are disgusted by it. Listen to what they're saying. Just listen to them, because I do.
English Rugby League.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah.
We should go to France.
Absolutely.
France. Can you imagine? Imagine if we went to the French Rugby League and said, we have $50 million. They would leap onto us and hold us and say, thank you.
Yeah. And then Peter Blaney says, you know what, we're going to make everyone in France who's not affiliated with Rugby League apologise to us as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if PVL did that, I'd actually I'd give the guy a reprieve for life.
It would be so cool. And look, I think it'd be somewhere where if you had the competition, you know, in their winter, our summer in France, I think you'd get some pretty decent players that would go over there and play in France. And it would be like a bit of a lifestyle thing, pick up a bit of money while you're playing the games. But it'd be cool. And I think that to sit down during our summer and watch rugby league matches in France where, you know, there were players that you knew in there. They're not going to be the best players, but there might be fringe first graders or guys that are maybe coming back from injury that are trying to, you know, get someone like.
Tell you what, though, if you put a few NRL fringe players in there,
yeah,
it wouldn't take them long to catch up.
No.
And yeah, you get a rugby league 24/7, 365 days a year.
Yeah, rugby league is all across France.
Yeah.
It's probably got the biggest geographical spread of a single rugby league competition outside of Australia, actually, is the French competition. And, you know, a long history. You know, a great place to go and play, a nicer place to live. And I just think that's the way to go. And it wouldn't cost that much money, and they would love it. They would embrace it. They would say to us, whatever you want to do, we're up for it.
Yeah. It might be the only way to motivate the Poms if they realise that the money that they could have been getting is going into France.
Yeah.
There's only one way to find out, I guess.
Yeah, do it. And, you know, if I was the NRL and they went down that road, I would make sure you have a team in Paris, which maybe the NRL would set up and run. And I'd see if the London Broncos wanted to take part, as I've said before. And I think that would be a really cool competition to watch in summer. I'd watch that over the cricket any fucking day.
Especially where cricket's going at the moment.
God, I just can't watch the Australian cricketers. They're all such douchebags.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. See, they lost to Bangladesh.
I did hear.
I can't wait until the inquiry comes out about that game in 5 years. Allegedly.
There'll be nothing.
Yeah.
There'll be nothing.
It's always like, whenever in cricket there's some result where you're like, whoa, it always happens.
Usually against England, but yeah, it does always happen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Well, what else has been going on in the world of rugby league?
Not a huge amount more. I thought it was interesting that Adam Dewey's season's over. And so at the West Tigers, we have basically the club completely cut its own balls off for Adam Dewey. And then he plays 2 more games in 2 horrific losing efforts, and then his season's over. I thought that was great. I just can't believe
West Tigers.
Yeah, I'm so angry about the West Tigers at the moment that I watched them on the weekend and was like, I hope they get fucking pumped because everyone there just deserves it. And not the fans at all. I feel sorry for the fans, but everyone within the club deserves it. And not a great deal more has happened in rugby league. I think that the quality of the games over the last couple of weeks have been pretty poor across the board.
Oh, yeah.
There's been every so often there's been a game here or there which has got close or something, but I think the quality has been fucking terrible for the most part. And I think coming out of the Origin series, it's been like that mostly. And I think that it's just because our season's way too long. I think we've got to cut back to 22 games.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of having this many rounds.
Yeah.
It is a drag.
Yeah.
We see it in England over there too. Like the season's way too long over there, and they've got less teams than what the NRL has, but they play more rounds. And we're even starting to see it now. Remember at the start of the year, they were constantly going on about how big the crowds were, and it's a record, record sort of crowd for the round, and we've never had this many people come to a round of footy before.
Mm-hmm.
That talk's all gone quiet.
Yeah.
Because the crowd numbers have dropped off hard.
Yeah, they really have, and there's some crowds I've seen where it's actually shocking to see how small the crowd is, and I think that people are responding with their wallets that some of this football that we're seeing at the moment is really, really poor quality. And I mean, the refereeing is so beyond as bad as I've seen it. It is disgusting at the moment, the refereeing. And like, I used to watch these games and there'd be a decision that the referees had to make. And, you go to the rule book that you've got in your head that you remember and you're like, oh, this is the rule for this. And so many times it's just goes against what the rule book says. And you're like, I'm watching it. How can they rule the complete opposite way of what it should be? And so I just throw my hands up in the air with the refereeing at the moment. It is so abysmal. And as I said, I used to give benefit of the doubt to referees, but then a lot of stories come out recently, and now I don't give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. So allegedly. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think everything about the game is just, it's getting, because we're at the end of the season where most of the teams and more teams every week are dropping out of the finals race.
Yep.
It means that there's more and more games every week that don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's a big problem. And that's a big problem because there's too many rounds.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah,
So, I think you'd easily chop, as you suggested, 2 or 3 rounds off.
Yeah.
And instead of having split rounds during the Origin period, just have 3 weeks in a row, no NRL, just have 3 weeks of Origin. Boom, 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 get it out of the way, put other rep games on. And I've mentioned this tons of times before. You don't have to just have, no footy and then just Origin and then that's it. You can have on, Pacific Cup games between other nations, that sort of stuff. Have France come over and play against Fiji or something. I don't care. Just do something to try and put other footy on. And then once all those 3 weeks are over, boom, get back in the NRL.
Yeah, because this whole thing where, you've got teams getting towards the end of the year and they're dragging ass. Like, it shouldn't be like that. They should be getting stronger as we get to the pointy end of the season. And there's just so many teams that are dragging ass at the moment. And it's a really bad look for the competition.
Yeah. It really is. I'm just having a look on here. There's been 11 players this year who have played all 22 games so far.
Fuck, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We have 87 players that have played 20 games or more. And that's out of 489 that have played.
Yeah.
So 402 have played less than 20 games this year. That's not good.
Look, and it's a fucking tough game to play, man. Like, any single one of these contacts in a game would be the worst shit that's happened to you physically if it happened to you just once.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So, guys, what happened, man? Fucking back in March, 200-kilogram dudes picked me up and just dropped me on my ass on the grass, and I still wake up fucking sore from that. It's a hard sport to play, and to play it over, we're basically now going from February to, with the World Cup, we're going to be going to December. And it's just such a long slog for a sport that is so brutal. And if we can cut just a couple of games out of the schedule and make up for it with volume by adding teams, which is what we're doing, we need to do that, because to have a 27-round competition, I know there's buys in there, but 27 rounds is too fucking long.
Yeah, and at this stage, all they've done so far is they've added in one extra round, because it's usually been 26. But it's just, as they bring in more and more teams, it's an extra round or two that gets added on the end. The next thing you know, you've got 30 weeks of regular season football and then the final start, and you go, man, this is too much.
Well, I was talking to people on Twitter this week about this, and like once we've got 20 teams, and we are getting 20 teams, that'll make that you can play everyone once and have 19 games, and then maybe have 3 or 4 games against what you would consider either your rival teams, or you just put it on you play these 3 or 4 teams, and then you play the next 3 or 4 teams over the course of, say, it'd be 4.5 years. So that, over the course of 4.5 years, you've sort of done your cycle and you go back to the start. But I like the idea of maybe playing your local rivals or something like that.
You know what they used to do, and I'm talking about in the first few seasons of football in Australia.
Yeah.
They play the first, they play each other once.
Yeah.
The last round of the year before the finals was still a normal round, but the top 8 teams will be the only ones that are available to play.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be able to, solidify who was making the finals and who wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who was out of the finals race, your season's ended. Go home.
Mm-hmm.
And they did this in reserve grade and first grade for a while. What you could do in this case is you'd have your 19 rounds. The 20th round, you could just have everyone from team 1 to 10, if it's going to be a top 10. They can all just play a game against each other and just draw them randomly and go, right, this is your final round. It's half a round of footy, and everyone goes out and they play that game. If you want to have a full round, everybody in the bottom half, they can play each other. And that way everyone's played 20 games. But you can solidify the final positions on the ladder that way.
Mm-hmm.
And plus you get an actual genuinely strong round of final footy in the end there. Everyone's playing against equal strength sides. That was the idea initially. And it worked okay. The other thing they did back then too was that you still earned competition points as you went through the finals. So say for example, right?
Yeah.
If the final started now, and Sydney and the Panthers made it all the way to the grand final, so they've won the same number of games, and Penrith won the final against the Roosters, which would put them both on the same number of competition points.
Yeah,
a replay would be played to find out who's going to actually be the premier, because they both need to decide who gets the final 2 points to become the premier.
Mm-hmm. So I tend to like the simpler format, like in terms of, I think if it's the thing about the Super 8s, when Super League had the Super 8s, it's like if you can't tell me how your competition works in a sentence or two, and I start like looking around the room and start thinking about like the patterns on the carpet, then you've lost me, And I think it's really easy to say, well, we have the regular season and then we have the finals, and then at the end there's the grand final. Whereas when you start to have to explain like, the last round, like I start thinking it's an issue. I think it would be cool to watch, but I don't like the idea of having to explain it.
You should see what they did in 1920 in Brisbane.
What did they do in 1920 in Brisbane?
Similar concepts, but the bottom 4 teams merged in to make 2 teams, and then they played each other once more again.
So that would be like the Dragons and Broncos and Tigers, and who would be the other one? Titans,
I think, yeah.
You'd get 2 teams out of those ones.
So the bottom 2 would merge together, and then the next 2 would merge with each other, and then they'd play another round of games with those 2 new teams.
Yep.
With all the other teams that are in there, and they play each other once more again, and then they'd have their finals.
Fucking Queensland, eh?
Harry Sunderland. No wonder the Poms loved him. Right? That's why the Super 8s, that's like a tribute to him.
Yeah.
What crazy concept can we come up with to honour Harry? I know. Let's have another competition after the competition's been done and just keep playing.
Yeah.
And we'll just edge everyone about the idea of playing finals. No. We're just going to have more rounds.
Just keep fucking going, man. Yeah, that's a strange one. Do you think that when we go to 20 teams, they'll make the finals a 10-team final series?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a feeling they will do. I think I wouldn't be shocked if they did something along the lines of almost like the play-in in the NBA, where it's like teams say, 10 to 6. There's a week where the top teams sort of miss, like they have a week off, but those teams are sort of playing for the play-in, and then we end up in a top 8 sort of scenario from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Didn't we do a top 10?
We did.
Was it 98?
Yeah, it might have been 98.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So that would have been, was that also the McIntyre? Oh, no. Oh.
I can't remember
No,
what system
no, it
it was
wasn't.
under.
So 98, teams first and second had the week off.
Okay. And then it just become a top 8 from there. But then it was the McIntyre system, I would say, from there. Or was it, did we go to the McIntyre system from that system?
I think we went to McIntyre after this.
And then we went back to that system not hugely long ago.
Yeah, the McIntyre one got ditched. Was it just before COVID?
I think so.
It was a horrible thing.
I didn't mind the McIntyre system. But I understand it being, once again, simplified. I don't mind that.
No, it was fraught with danger. Because if too many of the bottom ranked sides won, then you ran the risk of the top sides being eliminated. So being minor premier meant absolutely fuck all.
Yeah, but the way I saw it, like the minor, so the top 2 teams couldn't get knocked out in the McIntyre system, right? In the first week. But basically the McIntyre system, the way it works is the 2 lowest ranked losers leave each weekend. That was the easiest way to look at it. And I didn't mind it, but I once again, I think any time you can make a system easier, like I wouldn't have any problems if our final system was a straight knockout competition.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't mind that either. But I think if you're going to have the McIntyre system work, then you want to have the lowest ranked teams playing against each other so that they eliminate each other.
Yeah.
That's the only change I would have made. I wouldn't have had first playing 8th. I get the idea is if first play 8th, then logic suggests that the team ranked first should have the easiest win in the finals.
Yeah.
But if they lose, it kind of fucks things up a little bit.
It does a bit. But then again, with this current system, I think it's weird that the minor premiers have a harder game than like the 8th place team who plays, say, 6th.
Yeah, I can see the argument with that as well.
Yeah.
I just think all along what they should have been doing is finding a way to have the minor premier not have to play in week 1.
Well, I guess in a 10-team competition, maybe what you could do is you could have a straight knockout competition in the first week where it's like take teams 1 and 2 out, right? The other 8 teams, they have a straight knockout competition, and then the top 2 teams come into that, and then once again it's a straight knockout competition, and we go from there. But people want to give a lot to the minor premiers, and I understand that.
I just think a week off, because I think a week off at that time of the year is huge, and that's all it needs to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be second chances. I think the second chance thing is something more that is just a hangover from the way finals were done, prior to the grand final system kicking in was it 1954, where the person who was first had the right to challenge the team who won the final to play in a grand final.
Mm-hmm.
It's like saying, good example would have been Canberra were minor premiers last year. Brisbane goes on to win the grand final. Canberra, because they got knocked out in straight sets, they then had the right to challenge Brisbane in the actual grand final at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that would have worked. And that's how they, I think that sort of reward is too great a reward.
Yeah.
As much as you've done well to earn the right to get to first place through the regular season, you've done nothing in the finals to earn that sort of a reward. at the end for being, losing 2 straight games.
Yeah.
You've not earned that right. So I'm kind of glad they've worked away from doing that sort of thing over the years. But I just think a week's break is huge for the team that's minor premiers. And give them some proper prize money for fuck's sake.
That'd be handy too. Would you rather the minor premiers, or at this point it's the top 2 teams or the top 2 highest ranked teams, they get the second week of the finals off, right? If you went to a system where, say, and I agree with you, we're going to go to a top 10 system because more teams in the competition, you want more teams involved in being in the finals race as late as possible. If you did go to a system where it was, say, everyone except the top 2 play in the first week of the finals and it's a pure knockout competition, and then you add the top 2 teams the second week and you just go from there, it's knockout competition right to the end. Do you think it's better to have that first week off, or do you think it's better to have what we have now where you can get the second week of the finals off?
I think the first week off would be better.
Okay.
But if you're first or second and you win your first finals game, you should be pretty close to being advancing through to, if not the grand final, the week before it.
See, and that's what the current system does really well. Like if you're a top 4 team and you win your first game in the finals, you got one more game to win to be in the grand final. That's a huge, huge, huge thing.
Yeah.
Whereas every other system, you don't really get that, really.
No. But I'd be trying to make it so that you get rid of teams from 7 to 10 as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Have them play each other, 7 versus 10, 8v9, loser eliminated. You got rid of 2 straight away, and then, how you go after that is it's going to work either way, because you're going to be bringing in teams 1 and 2 after that. You can either have them play against those teams between 3 and 6, or they can play, the 2 crappy teams at the bottom, whatever. I think so long as you do something to halve the number of teams from 7 to 10 in the first week, that's your first priority.
I love the idea. An elimination final is just amazing. Doesn't matter who's in it.
Yeah.
I just love the idea of every single finals game is an elimination final. I just think that would be so exciting to watch. It
is,
and
it separates the men from the boys.
It really does. And it's funny how no matter how many finals series you see, you get to the finals and that step up in intensity and it just every single aspect of the game is so enhanced. And every year it kind of is shocking no matter how many times you've seen it. And, that's what we've seen in, so many final series where a team is just, like last year, the Broncos were just a fucking monster in the finals. I love seeing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I love seeing a team and we've seen it in the past with the Storm where it's you got to play your ass off to beat the Storm. And then we've seen this great Panthers team come through and it's like, oh my God, no one can beat this fucking team. And I love seeing those teams that are really, you get to the finals, it's oh, here we go. Now it's the fucking men from the boys,
Yeah.
It's great.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a shame it takes 6 months almost to get to that point.
I know, right?
You're fuck. All the boys have grown up now.
Yeah. We get to the point where it's that time of the year. It's here we go, and everyone's busted and tired.
Yeah. It's nuts. Shall we look at the games this weekend?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I actually have done the stats this time.
Okay, you got the list there?
I've got them all here.
Okay, excellent. Do you know you've been doing one of the games back to front?
Which ones?
The Friday games and then the Saturday games and the Sunday games.
What do you mean back to front?
So you would do the 8 o'clock game and then the 6 o'clock game on a Friday night.
Oh, I'd just do it. I make my own fucking rules.
I'm not being critical.
It's up to the NRL to yield to my methods.
Listen, we worked out the final series. Let's just fucking change their draw.
Exactly. How am I supposed to be influential if no one's listening to me?
Exactly.
Right.
So why we need Jess Surgis on the podcast? Maybe be more influential.
Bit of Braith and Asta.
Yeah, Braith, get Braith on.
Don't fucking do that.
Braith can be like, you know who shit? That player that my client has to fucking get past.
I was surprised that Buzz wasn't on the list.
Oh no! Don't.
I thought he's just retired. I'm sure they're going to find a way to chuck him on there.
They used to put him on there, huh?
I know.
Ridiculous.
All right, which game's up first? Storm Panthers?
Yeah, Storm Panthers. Okay, I'll do the games. So we do them in order, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do them in the order that you appeal to because, it's your special week.
How dare you?
This is the least I can do is yield to you on your special week.
Don't fucking say yield, you bastard. Okay.
I bow to your greatness, sir.
Fuck you. Only make the Poms do that. Okay. Thursday, 7:50 p.m. It's Storm versus Panthers.
All right. Storm have won 18 of their 22 games against the Panthers played in Melbourne.
Wow.
And this will be the 17th game this year where the Storm have been placed outside the top 8, which is equaling their 2010 season when they played for 0 wins.
Wow, that's incredible.
Even if the Storm win all of their last 3 games and end up with 12 wins and 12 losses, this will be their worst season for wins under Craig Bellamy.
Yeah, it's been a shocker of a year.
Their worst since 2002.
Casey McLean's back for the Panthers, which is huge. They lose Adam Alamotti. Sorry, he's got a bit of a knee injury, I believe. I just can't see the Storm winning this one. The Storm has been really poor this year. I think as bad as the Panthers are going, even if they just put in an average performance, they should still beat the Storm.
I think Penrith will be looking at this game as the kick in the pants. This is the game they know they need to come out and they need to play strong. Because if they come out and they get beat here, they look beatable moving forward for the rest of the finals and stuff.
I agree. It's if they lose this game, it's like proper warning signs. Oh my God, the wheels have fallen off, sort of thing.
Yeah. All right. I'm going for Penrith on that one.
Okay, yeah, Penrith as well. Now the next game, Friday, 6 p.m. The Canberra Raiders are taking on the Brisbane Broncos, and what are the stats for that one?
Broncos have lost 12 of their last 13 NRL games, conceding 410 points, which is 31.5 points per game. Raiders have won 4 of their last 6 games at Bruce Stadium against the Broncos since 2019.
God's mistake is back on the bench. We've got Papali. Is it his 300th game this week? Oh, no, he played that a while ago, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
He announced his retirement yesterday, I think. So this will be his last year in the NRL. I am going for the Canberra Raiders. I just think the Broncos, they look really bad. They look like a bit of a mess in terms of their injuries and the lineups they're having to throw out there. They're missing a bunch of key players. And I think it's weird. They almost look like they need a rebuild.
It's crazy how quickly they've fallen apart. It's almost at West Tigers speed.
Yeah, and it's weird to see the media are chucking it on at the feet of Michael Maguire.
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit.
It's like, no. It's like, the funny thing was that they were saying, in preseason training he was pushing them too hard. And it's like, look at them. Like, look at them. They needed it. Yeah. And if they thought that they were fine, they weren't.
100%.
So, yeah, I'm going Raiders. Is that Raiders for you as well?
Yeah, I'm going Raiders. I reckon they're going to put up a bit of a score.
I actually got shown one of my followers that tweets me a lot, and he tweets really good. He's got a big bet on the Canberra Raiders to, win this game big. I don't know that they're going to win big, but because I think the Broncos are going to try and fight in this one a little bit, but I don't know why I think that, because they gave up last week. Friday night, 8 p.m, Dolphins versus Eels.
Dolphins have won 12 of the last 14 NRL games, and the Eels have lost 17 of the last 23 games played outside of New South Wales since the start of 2023. And in those games, they've conceded nearly 800 points at 34 points per game.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins in this one, especially because they have the least number of injuries of all the NRL teams.
Yeah.
And I think
they get people back.
I think they want to show that they deserve to be here. And they obviously want to go out there and prove that the 50-point rule can be beaten.
Yes. Yeah, that's the rough thing about them. If it wasn't for that 50-point loss, you'd look at them right now and say they're a big smoky for the premiership. Yeah. I've got money on them. They're the only team I've got money on for the premiership, and they should put the fucking cleaners through the Eels, quite honestly.
Yeah, the Eels have looked reasonably good the last few weeks because they've been playing against either shit teams or teams in shit form. But I'd expect the Dolphins to go fucking ballistic on this.
Yeah. Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m, it's the Newcastle Knights versus the Northern Eagles.
Knights have won 14 of their last 19 games against Manly at McDonald Jones Stadium, and 16 of their last 22 games against Manly and the Northern Eagles, and 18 of their last 24 games against Manly, Northern Eagles, and North Sydney at the same ground in that same period.
I love all those stats. We're cunts.
And Manly have lost their last 6 NRL games and their last 5 NRL games away from Brookvale.
Knights look amazing. There was a great try scored on the weekend. Was it Fletcher Sharp up the middle?
Was a cracker.
Oh, I was actually watching that and I was like, if Laurie Daly had scored that at his best, you'd have been like, man, Laurie Daly. It was a great try. I think the Knights are going to put one on the Sea Eagles in this game. Yeah,
Manly's got Tom Trbojevic back apparently, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I expect Knights to rack up 30 at least in this one.
5:30 Saturday, we've got the South Sydney Rabbitohs versus the New Zealand Warriors.
So the Warriors have won 17 of the last 25 games played in Australia, and South have won 14 of their last 17 games against the Warriors.
Well, that does nothing for me. Fuck.
I'll say this. I think South, they're on their last legs with halves because they've got so many halves with injuries at the moment. And Humphreys, was it Humphreys? No, Sullivan looked like he also injured his hamstring, it looked like, when he was trying to convert a try last week. He played on and looked like he finished the game okay. And he resumed kicking duties at the end of the game, but I think a little bit of a scare like that might worry you a little bit when you're a ball runner.
Yeah.
I expect the Warriors to win this one comfortably.
Yeah, I think the Warriors win this. The Warriors, I think, have the most depth out of any team in the NRL. It feels like they can lose however many half. Bless you, by the way. You sound like you're getting sick finally. Congratulations.
I know. It's kicked in. I've got one more day after that. I'll go back to work.
That's great. Isn't it wonderful how life works?
Stupid bastard.
I know, right? The Warriors shouldn't have swept that floor at work, man.
Yeah.
The Warriors can lose a half, they bring another half in. They lose a half, they bring another half in. They lose a forward, they bring another forward in. They lose back, they bring another back in. They've got so much depth.
Kind of reminds me of the Panthers from a few years ago.
Yeah, true. The only thing is there's no one in this Warriors side who you look at and you're like, man, if they lose him, they're fucked, because they've got that much depth, and maybe at hooker, I guess, maybe.
I think that's another good thing about them is that they're not relying on some X factor player to give them that extra bit to get across the line.
Yeah,
they're playing as a unit so well.
Yeah, it's great to see. So, I have to go for the Warriors, and I think of all the teams, they may be in the best position right now.
100%.
So, Saturday night, 7:30 p.m, make sure you clear your fucking schedule for this one. It's the Dragons versus the Canterbury Berries.
Bulldogs have won 20 of their last 27 games against the Dragons since 2012. And this year marks 91 years since the Bulldogs had 91 points put on by the Dragons.
Oh, wow, that's a cool stat.
Yeah, so can we
It's a
see a
shame
reversal of that?
It's a shame most of that doesn't exist because of the NRL era.
That's right. It was just reserve grade before then.
Yeah, it was just, we just, just forget about 90 odd years of rugby league history. Fuck it.
We're just warming up. A warm-up run.
Yeah. Look, the Dragons are going okay for a team that's not good. I still think the Bulldogs will win this one. The Bulldogs have fallen off a little bit. They were on a little bit of a run there for a while, but yeah, I just think the Bulldogs will win this, and it won't be too much of an inspiring game.
This is going to be almost as bad as the Dragons game last week against the Tigers.
Oh.
I think this could be one of the worst things I'd ever have to go through, given how mediocre the attack is for both these sides. And they're just sloppy. Oh my God, they're sloppy.
Yeah.
And the Dragons have improved. They've improved to the level of Bulldog sloppiness.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, hey?
Yeah. I would not be opposed to the Dragons winning this. Because as much as it's funny to watch, another Shane Flanagan inspired fuck up, even though he's not there anymore. He was at the start of the year.
Yeah, he definitely inspired what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about the idea of the Broncos going from premiers to wooden spooners is really, I don't know. It's really got my interest peaked.
Yes, the only problem is the Dragons lose one game, it's over.
That's right. But at least it makes these games interesting.
Yeah, true. It would be, man, that would be fucked up.
I know, right?
Oh, man, we're cunts. Sunday, 2 p.m. It's the Titans taking on the Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks have won 12 of their last 16 games in Queensland since 2022, scoring 521 points, which is 32.5 points per game. The Sharks have also won 12 of their last 13 games against the Titans. And the last 3 games between these sides have all been won by the Sharks with a combined score of 148-32, which is an average score of 49-10.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The Titans, look, I like the direction they're going. It's just a very slow direction they're going in. And Josh Hannay's done a really good job taking a team that was just looked like they didn't give a fuck. At least now they look like they give a fuck. And, the errors that they make and the losses that they have are at least consistent with a professional rugby league team rather than what they were before. The Sharks need to turn it around in this one. They need to be prepared for the finals. If they have another one of those meh games that they've been having recently, it's a really bad sign.
Yeah.
They can't afford to be meh.
They really can't. They need to get their shit sorted out fast. The Titans, the one thing that's been impressive about them this year, despite the fact that they've won the same number of games they did last year, their defense has been so greatly improved this year.
Yeah.
The last time they conceded less than 600 points was 2021 when they finished 8th and made the finals.
Far out.
And that was 583 points conceded, which is 16 points more than right now.
There's things that you can see with this team finally where you can be like, oh, yeah, there's something to work with there. Like, there's something to work with there. And at least they've got that now. You know, and they didn't have that. I mean, last year you'd watch the Titans and they just had nothing going for them at all. So it's good. Like, man, their fans deserve a team finally that can do something. Speaking of which, the last game of the round, Sunday afternoon, 4 p.m.
Oh, boy.
It's the Eastern Suburbs Tricolours versus the Western Suburbs Magpies.
Yeah. Balmain's got the bye this week.
Yeah.
The Tigers have lost 12 of their last 14 games, conceding 486 points, which is just under 35 points per game.
Fuck.
The Roosters have won 22 of their last 25 games against the Tigers, scoring 834 points, which is 33.3 points per game on average. I think the Tigers will do well here. I think the Roosters will probably score 70 again.
Yeah, I think lower end 52, higher end, yeah, you're looking at 60 plus for me as well. I think, especially if if the Roosters get onto a good start and the Tigers drop their heads early, it could actually, we stood looking at the record books again.
Yeah. I back that very heavily to happen.
Yeah, yes, man, that's rough. And the Cowboys have a bye.
Yeah.
So at least Todd Payton can't fuck them up this week.
I mean, he could try. That's crazy looking at the ladder.
Yeah.
Right, the Cowboys are sitting in 8th place on 28 points.
Yes.
Their points difference is worse than the 4 teams below them on the ladder.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a funny year that way, huh? With the for and against.
And obviously a lot of that comes down to that massive hiding they got from the Roosters.
Yeah.
But still, you're in the top 8. You shouldn't be getting 80 points put on you.
Nah. I was so disgusted by that game. That made me really angry.
I think if you get 80 points put on you, you should be automatically have your competition points set to 0.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be allowed to compete in the finals.
Well, that's the sort of loss where this might be something you could do to add to your really busy schedule is do that thing where you get bonus points and minus points for big wins and big losses. See how the ladder turns out.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. But, yeah. There are certain things like that. I'd like the 50 points thing and you don't win a premiership because that kind of feels like a real thing.
That's a real benchmark thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think Canterbury are 9th, they've got minus 62. The Cowboys are in 8th with minus 78. Manly in 10th is plus 46. Melbourne at 11, minus 4. Canberra at 12, minus 61. That's nuts. The 4 teams from 9 to 12 have a better points difference than the team in 8th.
For a while there, the Raiders were one of the bottom 4 teams with their for and against too. So they've turned it around a little bit.
Oh, they've done huge work to get that straightened out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Tigers had one of the best defenses at the start of the year. Yeah. Now that's is it the worst now? Yeah, it is. Well done, everybody.
Another good effort.
Well done. That was a great turnaround.
Back to par.
Fuck me, that.
Man.
I mean, I can't say I didn't tell you.
You did. I was so optimistic, and you were just not.
Everybody else, even the journalists, are like, "Oh yeah, the Tigers don't make the finals this year." I was like, "Get your fucking hand off it." No,
I was certain they were making the finals.
I hadn't seen enough of it. And you know what? When you've been bludgeoned with misery for so long, I can see why West Magpies fans are such miserable pricks all the time. I never had to deal with this so much as a Balmain Tigers fan. I get to see a bit of success every year.
Wow.
So I've become one now. I want to see a bigger magpie in the jumper.
You know what they should do? They should have alternative years, right? Where if it 1 year the Magpie gets the wins, the other year the Tiger gets the wins, and depending on how many wins they get in those years, the Magpie gets bigger or smaller, and the Tiger gets bigger or smaller, and just see what happens over the course of a decade.
Eventually, they'll have to decide that, we can't have too much orange or too much white because it's too much of either side. So we're just going to have a black jumper and it'll just look like they're going to a funeral every week.
Yeah.
And that would be
it's really fucked up if they'd done that over the course of the last decade. Both of the logos would be so small right now, it wouldn't even matter. Yeah. It'd just be fucking micro dots.
It'd be a massive black jumper with no logos on it, which would be basically what Paris Saint-Germain had at the end of their inaugural season in Super League.
Yeah.
They
like this.
they had everything ripped off them. They weren't allowed to use the name or anything.
Be like those jerseys you get at fucking Best and Less.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
It's just got the NRL badge on it, nothing else.
Which, by the way, is sick as fuck.
What's that?
Having a badgeless jersey, like
Yeah,
some of them jerseys look real nice when all the badges are taken off them and all the sponsor logos and stuff.
yep.
Some of them looked a bit bare, but some of them look really good.
I like the Origin ones they had this year.
Yeah.
Just classic hoops design, man. I love the classic hoops design. I don't know why so many people love the chevron, the big V. I don't know why. It just looks jarringly bad to me, and I just don't like it. I like the hoops.
See, for New South Wales, I just like plain blue, and you've got the dark blue. Like if you've got a collar, it's dark blue collar, and then dark blue around the bottom of the sleeve.
Yeah.
Just give me light blue. That's all I need.
Yeah. Classic 90s stuff.
Yeah, and as for Queensland, I don't give a fuck. They can wear whatever the fuck they want. Who gives a shit?
Does anyone even watch what they're wearing?
Nah.
Nah.
Panthers one, retro. I like, you know what? That's one of the retro jerseys, the 91 jersey, where all of the sponsor logos and stuff look really good on it.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like the Phillips Balmain jersey.
Yes.
That looks great.
It's classic. I preferred the Balmain black and orange stripes one that they had. Which was their nice, was it 1915, I think, or 1919 heritage jumper.
Yeah.
Man, that's just a gorgeous jumper. I don't think you can get a hoops design jumper that looks garbage, but you can get a jumper with a V on it that looks like shit.
Yeah, they can fuck up the V. There's a while there the Bulldogs V was fucked up.
There were some
really
ones
fucked
there.
Up.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, it's an interesting one, but yeah, it's the Tigers should start wearing just all black, and they should change their home ground to Rookwood, and just be done with it.
I'll be up for that. Hey, there was news I saw this week where the Balmain Leagues Club site is being redeveloped.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
and the developer now has to go into negotiations with the Leagues Club, which will be run by West Ashfield.
Correct.
And they must have been a little bit of conjecture that maybe they weren't going to go with the Leagues Club, and they were maybe thinking about filling that area out of the development with shops, because the Balmain mayor was on the TV last week saying they committed to it being the Leagues Club, and we're committed to it being the Leagues Club, and the developer was basically on TV saying, look, we're talking with the Leagues Club. So it's going to be good when that's a bunch of shops.
Which it probably will be, because, that will probably be more financially sustainable than putting a Leagues Club there. But, who knows?
It feels like such a bygone era of like, how many people in that area are really saying, oh, fuck, man, can't wait for the Leagues Club to be back. It's like it's been gone for so long.
Is it really a great idea to have a Leagues Club on a main road where there's no public transport?
Not really.
Look, I don't live in Sydney anymore, but I'm pretty confident that is the case with where the Balmain Leagues Club was located. Was it Elizabeth Street? I can't remember.
That sounds familiar. I can't remember personally, but I've never been there. Hey, I've never been to the Leagues Club.
I'm going to look it up. I have. I almost got a job there many years ago.
Oh, really?
Working in the pokies area.
Lucky you didn't. It shut down.
Yeah, I know. I ended up the Roosters Leagues Club instead.
Ah, nice.
No, they were great. The guys at the Roosters Leagues Club were pretty bloody awesome, to be honest.
Did you know whose poker machine belonged to which player?
After a while, yeah. Victoria Road.
Ah, there you go.
I knew it was a female name.
Yeah.
That's the worst way of trying to pass off like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Who's that? Andrew Ferguson. I knew it was some chick's name.
But yeah, it's Victoria Road. Is it the A? Okay, it's an A road.
Mate, to me, that is far eastern Sydney, all right? You're asking the wrong dude.
It goes to I know it goes to a bridge. Like it's just across. It's just before a bridge. It goes across the other side there.
Yeah.
So it's a major road. The bridge goes across to Drummoyne. You don't want to have a place that sells alcohol on a fucking highway and no public transport around it anywhere. There's no trains anywhere. I don't know if the buses go there. And if they do, I mean, you're on a fucking highway. Who puts put the Leagues Club over near Leichhardt Oval somewhere?
Yeah, I just wouldn't be shocked if it turned out that it was going to be just the apartments, which they're going to have, and then they just say, "Oh, we're going with the shopping centre instead." But I don't live there. It's not my team. I've got no horse in the race.
You will once it's up and running.
Yeah.
You can you can head over there to Rizal Bay and watch the sailing go on.
It'll be good, big sailing
like
thing.
you rich people always do, and then you can duck over there to the Balmain. Well, it's probably going to be the West Ashfield Leagues Club.
Probably. I like to sit on the foreshore with my Chardonnay on a nice picnic blanket.
Yeah.
And watch the sailboats. Yeah.
Critique the skiffs.
Yeah, I'm like, I like to say like, they need to. I can't even think of a single fucking nautical thing to say. They need to.
That's not how I'd tie a clove hitch.
I quite like the cut of their jib. That's as close as I can get.
Where's your anchor, Jeeves?
That's quite a coxsman you've got there.
Not as big as mine.
I think that's rowing, but anyway.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Well, we can't have much more to this about Formula One because it's been done on for another week.
Yeah. Although, did you see the owner of the Cadillac team he's doing a fire sale of every single sporting entity that he owns, so the Cadillac team might be in some problems.
Ooh, that's never good.
Yeah.
I saw someone in Melbourne posted a picture yesterday on social media of one of the Aston Martin cars on the back of a truck, and there was a caption underneath it of Lance Stroll still hasn't finished the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, I saw you posted that picture, and I was like, man, it's nice to see it on the road finally.
That's right. It's the only way they can get on the road without it vibrating the living hell out of the driver's hands.
Yeah, that was weird. I wonder what they do with Cadillac though, if the team gets sold. Because I've always thought Cadillac team was weird. Like they're not going to sell more Cadillacs because Cadillac's in Formula One. I wonder if they did have to sell it, who they'd sell it to, and what would happen to it, or if they'd just like remove them from the grid or whatever.
I wonder if that because remember there was the Mario Andretti consortium was going to try and become the next team, and they got overruled and knocked out. I wonder if they'd let them have a crack at it and whether they'd take it on board.
Didn't they end up folding them in some way to the Cadillac team, or
I don't know. I mean, they might have done.
I think they become part of it, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because who was Cadillac getting their engines from? They weren't making their own.
No, weren't they? I think they were Ferrari engines, weren't they?
Geez, that's bold for an American car.
I feel like they might have been Ferrari.
I thought they might have gone with Ford, like Red Bull did. Let's see. Where is it? Cadillac in Formula One. Yeah, they do have the Ferrari in there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because the Cadillac with the Ford engine in it would be fucked up for Americans. They'd hate that shit.
Oh, they would.
So, Yeah, I wonder what would happen with the team or the license or whatever. Maybe Andretti would be like, okay, let's go back to me. I can start doing it now. But, we'll see. Be nice if Porsche or someone like that took it over.
I mean, imagine Porsche. I'd be keen on more German actual engine manufacturers getting involved in there and having more engine types in Formula One.
Volkswagen to come in, that'd be cool.
Because at the moment, it's not too bad now because we do actually have Mercedes, Honda, Ferrari, Ford, and I think the Audi team produces their own engine as well. So we've got 5 different engine suppliers, but only 3 of them are supplying to other teams.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy seeing Aston Martin getting rid of the Honda in it.
Yeah, that is strange. I have a feeling that Red Bull are going to have their own engine from next year, I think, maybe.
They were planning on that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You know what I always find it crazy is how good Ford is at being completely out of Formula One, and then they come into Formula One again, and they just got an engine that it's not the greatest engine, but it's on the money. You know?
It's not far off.
Yeah, they never come in with an engine that's bad. I always think that that's amazing with Ford. Honda used to be like that too, but then you see what they've done this year. It's kind of ruined that reputation.
When they first came back, Honda, when McLaren came back, was it 2015? And they came back and that Honda engine they put in that McLaren was it's like they put a lawnmower engine in a Formula One car. I was like, man, this thing is so slow. Right. And they had whether you like them or not, they had 2 like world drivers champions as their drivers, and they couldn't get off the back of the grid on those things.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.
One was a legit champion, that was Alonso.
It would be cool for Ford to be a Ford team in Formula One. That would be sick.
That would be interesting.
Like just a Ford fucking proper manufacturer.
Yeah.
Everything. That'd be amazing. I don't think they've ever done that, have they?
I don't know. I'm surprised we don't have Volkswagen in there now because I think is it Volkswagen that now owns Bugatti?
Do they own Audi though?
Is it Audi or Bugatti? I can't remember. Maybe it's Audi they own.
They own Bugatti, but I think that they maybe own Audi as well. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
Maybe I don't know. Do you think they're still worried about what happened in World War II?
Possibly. Wouldn't it be cool though to have like a VW bug like themed Formula One team? That would be amazing.
They've got all these engines like the Mercedes AMG F1 and the Ferrari 067 and they've got all these. You've got and then you just have Beetle 01.
Yeah, Beetle 01, the Bug 02, and like the cars could be like bright yellow,
hot pink,
and hot pink. That'd be a good one. That'd be great. It'd be so much fun.
Fucking hell, that'd be nuts.
So we've put some options out there for the Cadillac Formula One team when they're going to sell off.
Yeah, I mean, look, they could look at Ford. Maybe they could get Holden restarted. What do you reckon?
That'd be great.
Yeah. They could have the Kingswood 07.
What about a Nissan Formula One team?
Oh, the Pintara could come back.
That'd be great. What about a Datsun Formula One team?
Oh, now we're talking.
That would be sick.
The first engine comes out, that's 120Y.
Yeah.
The 180B.
That would be another cool manufacturer to have come out. Like, I mean, things like Maserati and stuff, whenever there's a team like that, it's always a plastic version of it.
Yeah.
Like Jaguar and stuff. It's like, come on, it's nothing to do with Jaguar. Alfa Romeo, that was another one. Where it's like, this isn't Alfa Romeo in any way, shape or form.
Yeah, you just put a car brand. Well, I mean, they're doing it with Aston Martin. You're just putting a car brand on a Formula One car with a completely different engine.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they talked for years about putting actual Aston Martin engines in that car and never made the effort to do that.
No, not even close. What about a Tesla Formula One team?
Well, I was just thinking, like, they're going to have to get into something new in that area. It's either going to be that, or it's going to be one of these means of Chinese companies that come along.
Yeah, BYD or something. I mean, the fact that it's still going to be combustion engine's a problem for it being a Tesla. I guess that is an issue.
That rules them out.
Yeah. Well, still, it would have been cool.
Having the Cyber F1.
Yeah.
You could probably have the MG could come back, given that they're both Chinese, but we've got a British heritage. Ticks a few boxes.
What about what's the fucking little car that was in the French Connection?
Morris?
The minis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a mini F1 team.
That'd be nuts.
That would be pretty cool, eh?
Absolutely. See, I think what we need to do, though, is we just have the current modern F1 cars, and then just chuck in one of the cars from, say, 1994. Just one for the real Formula One fans. We'll just have one still, and let like Alonso or Hamilton drive it.
That reminds me. You remember that birthday of mine that you completely forgot about and missed? Remember that, right?
What?
One of the things I got for my birthday that you missed was I got the Michael Schumacher Formula One car, the 2004 Formula One set.
Have you built it yet?
And I've been putting it together. There's 7 bags. I think I'm up to bag 4 to do next. And it is such a fun build. So much fun.
So in comparison to the ones that we did, size-wise, how much bigger?
I would say...
Is it twice the size? 3 times the size?
It's got to be close to twice as long so far.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking big. I should take a photo of it and send it. I'll just send it to you tomorrow of like the finished one that we did and the half built one that I've got so far. And when you like the first thing you do when you open it up is you put together the little Michael Schumacher, thing, and it's kind of sad putting it together when you know what happened to poor old Michael Schumacher.
Yeah, you end up.
The build has been great. The only thing I haven't liked about it so far is there's so many stickers, and I am terrible putting the stickers on.
Yeah, stickers are not. They're not fun. Why do they go to all the effort of having all these great tiny little pieces? Of like, yeah, you know what, you do the stickers. I was like, you know what, I don't want to do the stickers. I want to do the putting the Lego pieces together. I bought Lego to put Lego together, not to put stickers on it.
I would have paid $50 extra for there to be no stickers, just for either them to be printed out already or just pay somebody to put the stickers on $50 because I am the worst person in the world putting these stickers on. And so far, I think I've got all but 2 of them are perfect or close enough to perfect. I can't tell the difference, but there's 2 of them I can look at and be like, But every other ones have been pretty good. But the build's been a lot of fun so far, and it's cool because you start basically with the barge boards on the bottom of it and go from there. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. You need to get yourself one or ask Santa for one for Christmas.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't ask Santa. He's younger than me.
That's a good point.
I've got to ask somebody else, one of his superiors. Maybe he's old man.
He's his old man.
I'll hit him up next time I see him.
Stanley Jane.
He just lives around the corner from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been looking at that because they've now got a few Formula One cars from the current grid today.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get these massive versions of them. They're like 5 times the size of what we did.
Yeah, are they Technic?
I think so, yeah. They look great and they're huge. I'm looking at them going, man, I'd love to get one of those, but fuck me, they're a few $100. I'm not doing that.
They're so expensive.
I know.
Look, those ones you and me got, what were they, $35?
Yeah.
This one is not the Formula One that I got for the birthday that you forgot about. Remember that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, but you forgot. It's okay. It's okay. We've moved past that.
I remember. I forgot.
The-
It's just like episode
one-
511 to 513. Just move
that
past
one is supposed to be $140, but it was $100 on sale on Amazon. And I've got to say, when you look at the fucking $35 one, you can't beat the value of that.
Yeah.
You just cannot. It's amazing value. So, like, if anyone's listening and you've got that one, man, you're sweet. I just got this one because, like, when it was announced, I wanted it, and I was a massive Schumacher fan and all that, so I had to get it.
I have been thinking about getting the Eton Center one. It's a little bit cheaper too, and I was looking at it going, oh, I reckon I could do that. I reckon that'll look pretty cool. But I got nowhere to put it. That's my problem.
Mate, I've got no space for anything anymore. It's fucked.
You just get rid of some of those dolls you got and just put the cars there.
They're fucking high-end collectibles, first of all. And there's too many of them. I've got too many of them. I've got 65 of the fucking things.
Man, yeah, I don't know. You got to do something, man.
I know.
More shelves.
I need more shelves.
Yeah. Go to Bunnings and get yourself one of those big heavy duty fuckers.
Yeah.
That's what I did. That's what I did for my library.
Yeah, that's what I would love to do is just get one of those, the fucking garage shelving units, put one of them up and just have shitloads on them.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Be sick.
I need to get more, actually.
For your books?
Yes. I'm kind of running. I bought it thinking, you know what, this is huge. I'm going to fit all my books on here, and they're not going to be scattered and in a shitty layout. They're going to be properly sitting up so I can grab them whenever I need them and not make a mess.
Like a proper library.
Yeah, and no, that didn't happen because there's too many.
Fuck.
So yeah, I'm going to have to get another bookshelf, but I got nowhere to put it. I need a bigger house, actually. Can you rustle one of those up for me?
I can do it.
Okay.
I was number 51 on the most influential people in the NRL. I can get that done.
Yeah. How come you weren't in the top 50?
I tried. But Den and Kemp beat me out. So, what can you fucking do?
He's only got one podcast. He doesn't even write articles.
Well, neither do I anymore. I'm too busy fucking explaining to Poms why they're wrong on Twitter to be writing articles.
That's great. That's important, influential work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's Kemp doing?
I don't know. I like honestly, because I mean, you and me don't listen to footy podcasts just because, like, it's just not something we do.
No.
You know, we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
But so I don't ever hear much about rugby league podcasts unless someone says to me, "Oh, you should listen to this episode because, you know, there's a couple of where Nathan Cleary's been on them, for instance, which I've really enjoyed. He was on Josh Mansour's podcast earlier this year and stuff like that. But so I don't know what's going on in other rugby league podcasts. I just am happy that they're there. The more rugby league podcasts, the better.
So long as they don't have former journos on them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then it's like toxic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some journos I'm fine with, but I'm talking about the ones that were, you know, formerly on NRL 360.
Yeah, I know, right?
As hosts or co-hosts.
I don't know why people would listen to those ones, but they do. That's what they want to do. But I don't get it. But I don't get why people watch NRL 360. Like, people hate watch it, I guess.
I'm not sure that many people are watching it anymore anyway.
I don't know. I just see so many people complaining about it on my timeline. I'm always like, turn it off.
And it's not really 360 anymore because they don't look at it from every angle. They just look at it from one angle.
Yeah, true.
So it should be just like NRL 90.
Yeah. NRL 45.
We just look at it from this small angle and that's it. Next.
They need something to revamp that show. I don't know what it would be. Maybe put like a King Cobra on the desk.
I mean, I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to stop putting people on there who all agree with one another and stop putting on one oafish, loudmouth knob who all he does is tries to say something that's of a different opinion.
Don't be like that about Gordon Tallis.
Was it that obvious?
What if they start the show, right? And they say, okay, Gordy, you're not allowed to answer anything that you hear us talking about until you finish this puzzle. And it's one of those real basic puzzles, like of a line with 6 bits to it. And it's just an hour of him just trying to put it together.
And Tim's got the picture printed out underneath, and you just got to sit the pieces on top.
Yeah. She's like, I can't do it.
He's sitting there trying to force pieces in the wrong way around and upside down.
You still got 8.5 minutes, mate. You're good.
He's got his tongue sticking out the side of his mouth trying to get the pieces together.
Yeah. But you know what? That would be exactly... You just described what our fucking episode was when we built that Lego Formula 1 car. We can't fucking point fingers because that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, the good/bad thing about that is that I think the episode... Was this the episode when we had Johnny on and it didn't record properly?
And it didn't record anything he said, and so it was just you and me in complete silence. And then we'd be like, yeah, and then back to silence.
Just Johnny carried us.
Except no one could hear it. Unfortunately, that was the problem.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was a beautiful episode.
It was. But we fucked up. Not only the record. Well, we didn't fuck up the recording. It just didn't work. But we had no idea that we both built these Lego cars like in silence, which is a problem for a podcast.
Look, it wasn't entirely silent. I think we were both somewhat semi-aware that we weren't talking enough, so that we'd both take times where we just stop doing the Lego building and start chatting.
Yeah.
And then you'd hear the other one be quiet for too long and go, what do you reckon? You'd just go, huh? Oh, yeah, stop. Yeah. And then I'd start talking and you'd be like, okay, my turn to catch up.
I think didn't you finish your one first?
Oh, only just.
I think you finished it first, yeah.
We both finished within like a minute or two of each other.
Yeah, it's so relaxing to do, hey?
It was too much fun.
Yeah.
It was the most fun we almost had recording.
Yeah.
We come away from it going, yeah, we made these cars. This is going to be awesome. We're going to put pictures up and everything of what we did. It's going to be great. And we took all the photos and then we sat back and you listened to it and you've gone, it didn't get Johnny. It was like, oh, no.
Didn't work, yeah. I think that's the only one we've done that literally just didn't record properly.
And we were gutted because we knew it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't us doing much of the work, it was all Johnny, but it had some pretty amusing moments to it. We're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that happens. What can you do?
Yeah, I don't know. We keep talking too. We've got to try and figure out how to do another live episode one day.
Yeah, maybe we could do a World Cup, one of the World Cup games we could do live.
I think we'll try and do that.
Yeah.
That can be episode 600.
Yeah, episode, we can do like, Lebanon versus France or something like that.
I'm up for that.
Yeah, that'd be good fun.
Well, should we wrap this one up, you reckon?
Yeah, it's been good fun.
It has, and it's a bit late, and I probably need to go and have some medicine or something.
Yeah, you're going to have the next week off of work, which will be great.
You watch, I'll be perfectly fine in about 12 hours' time. No, 18 hours. Make it 6:30 tomorrow night.
I'm going to pass the fuck out, and everyone will realise that when they're listening to this, I got up the next day and I put the podcast episode up, and now you're all listening to it.
Sweet. It's amazing. It's just magic how that works.
It really is.
I like the fact that when we finish recording and we've stopped and we go, okay, you know what, we'll head off now, we'll go to bed. And you said, yep, I'll put this up sometime tomorrow afternoon. I'll go, yeah, mate, no worries. And I'll wake up the next morning in 5 hours' time and go, it's already up. I go, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's up at 6 a.m.
Did you not go to sleep?
Sometimes I don't go to sleep. Sometimes I wake up fucking 3 hours later and I'm like, Jesus, I might as well sort the podcast out.
The life of a audio engineer.
Yeah. It gets me through my days of journalism.
Journalism and just being an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur. The 51st most influential person in the NRL.
That is the title now.
Rugby league expert. You can check our profiles.
That's right. Not my words. Not my words.
It's on the Twitter profile. We don't write that shit.
Yep. Wasn't me. Well, thanks for tuning to episode 600 almost, everybody. Make sure to check us out on all the socials. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, MySpace. So go ahead, check us out everywhere. Like, subscribe. That would be fantastic. Send us your emails. They're great. Freaky.
Podcast@leaguefreak.com.
Send them. We love them. And